Hey everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I'll be sharing what a full week of training looks like for me as a wannabe hybrid athlete. And with wannabe hybrid athlete, I mean that I'm just starting out with my program. So the week that I'll be showing you was actually my second week in. And that means that for me, in the second week, it is still relatively easy work. So I'm not going all out. The goal of this week, and also for the coming weeks for that matter, is really building that strong foundation in order for me to go harder later on in the year to reach my 2026 goals. If you're wondering what those goals are, I'll be sharing that in a separate video later on. But the fact that this is my second week of my training program does really not mean that I have not been training before. It's just that now I have a dedicated program where I'm really increasing the amount of volume that I'm getting into this week. So before I'll be showing you what my week actually looks like, I want to emphasize that this program works for me, and that does not necessarily mean that this works for you. Now, what I mean with that is that some people might think that this is way too easy, and others might think that this is way too ambitious. And that means that you should not necessarily blindly copy this program. If you need help or want to know more about how to build such a program, just let me know in the comments down below and I'll be very happy to help you further. And if you like my videos and you want to show some support, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Now, without further ado, let's get into the program. So in this program, I have 6 active days and 1 rest day. And in those 6 active days, I have 8 workouts planned. So that does mean that in this second week of my program, I did 2 double days. Those were on day number 5 and day number 6. That means that I had 1 session in the morning and 1 session in the afternoon or in the evening. Now let's get into the program. So on day number 1 was my long run. And my long run was planned to be around 1 hour and 30 minutes. Really at a slow pace. So really my heart rate should not be any higher than 150 beats per minute. So although in this run I was not necessarily tracking it, I knew that it would be roughly between 130 and 40 beats per minute. Now, as you can see in these images, this run was absolutely amazing. I went out with my girlfriend very early. I was very happy that she was actually joining me because that also made it quite fun, and she was able to shoot quite some nice images for this video. And as you can see, it was really amazing outside. The temperature was a little bit low, but it was actually quite nice for running, and the sunshine was absolutely fantastic. So in the end, I did around 15 to 16 kilometers. It was really nice, and the legs were actually pretty good. In the beginning, it was a little bit hard because the week before, in my first week, I went a little bit too hard, as you can see in my other video. Go check it out. So my legs were a little bit sore still from the week before, but overall the pace was really easy, and that also meant that the run in the end turned out to be quite doable, and it was really amazing to be outside. We're around 10k in, legs feel still really good, still amazing outside, sun is shining, couldn't wish for better conditions. Let's go. Now for day number 2, there was planned to be a double day. So in the morning I went for an easy run of around 45 to 50 minutes, which was in zone 2. Now what does zone 2 mean? Zone 2 means that it should be a conversational pace. So the pace should be aimed for that you can still have an actual conversation with somebody else. So really low heart rate. For me that means around 130 to 140 beats per minute. And what such a training does is it trains the heart muscle to be more efficient and to be pumping more blood with every pump. So in a training where you are at such a pace, you are training your heart muscle. And that's why you also see so many people say you gotta run slower to run faster. This is exactly why. As you can see in the images, this run was really cold. It was actually freezing when I was running, and it was still very dark, so it was a bit tough to get out of bed. But in the end, I was happy to get the distance in, and it was in the end quite a nice run. Then in the afternoon, I went for an easy Hyrox session. Now what I mean with easy is that I should not go all out, which is very difficult for a Hyrox workout, and really pace myself that my heart rate stays a bit lower so that I'm not too fatigued for the next day. As I'm still in my building phase, I do not want to go all out on every workout. So this was a Hyrox class that I followed. It was really nice, it was with nice people. And the focus was a bit more on strength than on conditioning. And I was in the end very happy that I was able to pace myself. Now the other double day was a little bit different, but we'll get into that later. Now on day number 3 is my interval sessions. And as you can see here, I use my football training session as my interval session. Now the reason why I do that is I had to fit in somehow my interval training into this week, and I do want to keep on playing football. So yeah, I don't want to be too strict on myself, and I want to keep on enjoying it as well. And how I do that is by just using this as my interval session. So this football training session is around 1 hour and 45 minutes. I'm not really in control of what we are doing in the training, but generally it's always a bit of an interval workout. So I'm satisfied with how that turns out. So in this way, it stays fun for me, and I can keep on going for the coming weeks to come. Now on day number 4, that is my first strength session. And as you can see, it is upper body focused. So really what I've been doing in this strength session is focusing on the bench press, on some pull-ups, and doing some shoulder pressing, but also wanted to include a little bit of legs, so I did some squats as well. So on this workout I really focused on keeping the weight a little bit low. Yeah, as I now said many times, I'm still in that building phase, so I don't want to go too heavy in this workout as well. And secondly, with my strength sessions, I'm really focusing on progressive overload. Now what that means is that every week you increase either the amount of repetitions you do per set or the weight that you're doing. So for example, in this training session, I did a bench press of 55 kilos for 8 repetitions for 4 sets. And last week I did 6 repetitions. And next week I'll be increasing the weight and then going back to 6 repetitions. So I'll be doing a bench press with 60 kilos with 6 reps for 4 sets. I hope that still all makes sense. Now moving on to day number 5, that is my second Hyrox session. And this is where it gets a bit more intense. So similar to day number 2, it is focused on power, but here I went a little bit harder than on day number 2. So really the heart rate was really high at some points, and it was also very fatiguing, but it felt actually really nice to do this workout, and I had a lot of fun doing it, but I was getting really close to the edge here. Nonetheless, great workout and very happy to have done it. Now day number 6 is where it all comes together. So first I did a very easy run. This is very similar to day number 2, where I did around 15 minutes of running at zone 2. So really easy pace, focusing on that heart muscle. But it got really tough on my second workout of that day. So in the afternoon I did a lower body strength session, and my legs were really fatigued from the prior days of that week. And then here I went really hard as well. So really heavy back squat, heavy deadlift and heavy lunges. Yeah, it turned out to be quite tough for the legs, especially with all the things that I already had done in this week. Nonetheless, it felt really good. It was really nice to go close to failure. I'm generally feeling really strong and healthy, so it was just a really nice workout, although it was extremely hard. And then my last day of the week is my rest day. And I use this rest day to obviously rest, but there I will be doing some stretching, a little bit of mobility work, but really keeping it very light in order for me to be fresh for the next week. So that was my second week of my program. Overall feeling really good, but my legs are quite tired from this week, but really motivated to keep on going and to get better and to get fitter. So what does it mean for the coming weeks? So slowly I will be building up my volume. So for example, for my long run, I'll be increasing the amount of minutes that I will be running every week with around 10 minutes. And then secondly, for my strength sessions, I'll be applying the progressive overload. So either increasing the amount of repetitions or the amount of weight that I'll be pushing. So yeah, that's it. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.